What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So you've probably noticed that I've been MIA on this channel for, I guess, about a week now. And what happened was that that Jason Whitlock video, which was taken down, violated community guidelines as far as cyberbullying. So I'm suspecting that either someone close to Whitlock, and if that's even possible given his considerable circumference. I don't know how close you could possibly even get to him, but someone relatively close to him, or someone who rocks with him, or someone who's just a hater of mine. You know what I'm saying? Someone who hates my guts and wants to see my channel, disappear. Like Amelia Earhart did. But I got a 2 weeks suspension because that was my second active community guideline strike. One dropped recently, so that's good news. So that reset my suspension to 1 week, so I'm back. So this is the deal. Those of you who support me, do me a favor. I'm gonna put a link directly in the description box, one for all my links, but one I might pin it to the video as far as links to my other channels. I want you guys to subscribe to those channels. My backup channel, Too Raw for Sports. Last I checked, there's 132 people subscribed to that one, so it'll be 1,000 until that channel becomes monetized. I have a political channel, uh, politically incorrect, and I have a music channel, of course, Two Raw Classics. I'll put a link to that one, and I uploaded some music on that channel just yesterday. All right, so I just want to get you guys up to speed as to what's been going on. Yeah, so I've already uploaded some videos in the last week on all three of those platforms. So please support me over there. Also, if you want to donate to this channel, you want to show love to True Raw for TV, you can do so in the links in the description box. And, I always put links to those as well. And, you know, thank you guys for supporting me. So let's talk about game 4. Because at one point, Phoenix had a dominant 2-0 lead in this series in the NBA Finals. Phoenix is looking for their elusive first NBA championship. Uh, in the first couple of games for Phoenix, it was a lot of Chris Paul. And Monty Williams was uh, definitely out coaching Mike Budenholzer. All right. And I think in the first game, if I'm not mistaken, they did a pretty good job of containing Giannis. Um, the last two games, starting in game 3, but it was game 2, but it was too late. But definitely in games 3 and games 4, the Bucks have done a better job of getting Giannis involved, and by that I mean offensively and imposing his will on the Phoenix Suns. Um, One of the adjustments that Mike Budenholzer has made, though I wish he would make this adjustment sooner, is limiting the amount of touches and amount of impact that. Look, Brook Lopez well, at one point in time, Brook Lopez was an all-star center when he was playing with the then New Jersey Nets. He's a guy that can still be productive to a certain extent, but he's not the same player. And he's not the most athletic big. He's not the most mobile big. He's sort of like what you would call a quote-unquote dinosaur who's been more effective in the 80s and 90s and maybe into the 2000s. So he's getting killed on the pick and roll. And at the center position, because Mike Budenholzer, tends to want to have him be a stretch 5 and shoot threes, that frees up Ayton to dominate, do what he does, alley oops, dunks, and rebound like a madman. Ticket TV, shout out to him because he also uh, puts this point out. If you're not subscribed to Ticket TV, please subscribe to Ticket TV and support the LDBC, the Lions Den boxing community and the Lions Den basketball community. So when you put Giannis to the 5, that forces Ayton to guard someone, which is Giannis. Giannis is primarily in the paint. He's limited the amount of threes he's been shooting in the series. I don't mind Giannis shoots 1 or 2 threes. What gets me is when he starts yakking up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not your game. Your game, what got you notoriety, what got you, the 2 MVPs was dominating in the paint and being the most unstoppable force in the NBA right now in the paint. That forces Ayton to have to guard him. That potentially gets Ayton into foul trouble. And it neutralizes Ayton's other strengths to a great degree. Bobby Portis brings energy. He can hit the three, but he's a guy that can score. He's more athletic. He's more agile, and he's as close to an enforcer type guy. I mean, yeah, you got Tucker, but he's another guy that you need on a championship team. Bobby Portis. You need a guy that is going to energize the crowd, bring some toughness. And one thing I am starting to question even more about Phoenix is their toughness. But I mean, there's a lot of fucking sissified flopping with that team. At the most, look, the NBA Finals is a fucking war. It's a gut fest, okay? And I notice I see Jay Crowder. I see the dude that looks like Red Man a little bit with the fucking afro. I can't think of his name. You see Devin Booker all day long crying, crying and crying and crying to the officials, and that shit is counterproductive because the officials start getting on your you start getting on their fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? Um, Monty Williams crying about fouls. That shit's irritating. If you watch Game 1 of this NBA Finals, when Phoenix shot 30-something free throws and the Bucks shot like 9, was he crying then? The fucking nerve of this fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? I like Monty Williams. I still think he should have been coach of the year, but fuck him on that situation. Crying ass motherfucker. So Giannis had, I think, 26 and 14. Solid numbers. He's averaging probably around 32 points a game in his finals. 32 points and 14 rebounds. And he's shooting north of 60% from the floor, I believe, still. He's been very impactful. And right now, even though this series is tied 2-2, I think he's the leading player overall in these finals. Fuck what Skip Bayless has to say. He's the leading player in these finals. But I do have to give credit to Khris Middleton. Khris Middleton is one of these guys. It's a roller coaster ride watching this guy. Watching this guy, it's just a roller coaster. He could start for game 2 for 8 and turn the ball over inexplicably, playing beyond his skill set, trying to be Allen Iverson with the ball. Losing the ball just in stupid. Sometimes Khris Middleton can be a run killer for the Bucks. The Bucks can go on a 5-0 run, like a 5-0 mini run, and then Khris Middleton would just force the issue and try to do some super duper, behind the back, fucking, you know, reverse layup shit that he can't do. I don't know, man. He doesn't have the physical dexterity and the upper body strength to do a lot of shit that he sometimes be trying to do, and he pisses me the fuck off. But then Khris Middleton will make 3 consecutive jumpers in a row, and then all is forgiven. That's the roller coaster ride that is Khris Middleton. No Kendrick Perkins, he's not Batman. Okay? Just don't fucking wait until he has a good game every 3 or 4 days. "Oh, this is why I say he's the Batman. He put on 40. Oh, God. Look, Joe Dumars won Finals MVP in 1989, I believe. Joe Dumars often outscored Isaiah Thomas. But if you were to ask anybody whose team that was, who was the heart and soul of the Detroit Pistons, it was Isaiah Thomas. Just because he outscored Isaiah doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Giannis is what makes that team go. Okay? Fuck what that imbecilic, moronic Kendrick Perkins says. Because often, really be honest with you, Kendrick Perkins is such a shameless Clutch Sports client. Well, Clutch Sports payroll employee, I should say, not client. He makes it so obvious. He's shitting on Giannis because he's competition to you know who. So he just shits on him. Why don't they just put Kendrick Perkins, Clutch Sports employee, under his fucking name and shit on the label on the TV and shit? You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and just say what's obvious. But look, Khris Middleton was big last night. He had 40 points. Um, I like when Khris Middleton contributes in the fourth quarter, and I also like when he starts going more to his mid range game, which is his strength, in my opinion. His mid range game. Sometimes Khris Middleton can take too many threes. When he doesn't have it going, he'll just continue to shoot threes because Khris Middleton misses a lot of wide open threes. If you watch this series, man. Khris Middleton misses a lot of wide open threes. And, I don't understand that part of his game. Um, for the playoffs, he's only shooting like 33% from three, but he's the Batman, though. Only 43, I think he's like shooting 43% from the floor overall. He struggled throughout the playoffs, but he does have those games and in stretches he will kill you. And one thing he is a good free throw shooter, so he made the free throws he should have made. And, he scored big in the second half. And that's part of the reason why the Bucks won. Drew Holiday, I don't understand what is going on with this guy. If this was 2K, his layup package is garbage. He cannot fucking. I don't get it. I don't understand. Have you ever seen a guy who misses? Have you ever seen a guy who misses so many point blank layups? Like at first in game one when I was seeing it, I said that was nerves. This is game four. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't. I really don't. I guess he's forcing shit. Like he's it's in his head and he's forcing shit. Maybe I don't know. But Drew Holiday will give you a good game, and then give you 2 or 3 games in a row where he's either mediocre or he just completely sucks. Now, where he doesn't contribute on the offensive end, he sort of makes it up on the defensive end for the most part. So without, and if I said Khris Middleton, I meant Drew Holiday. So Drew Holiday, he gives you something a little bit more than Eric Bledsoe. Bledsoe, if he wasn't giving you any type of offense, you weren't getting anything from him. So and Mike Budenholzer, shout to him. He made that adjustment I was talking about. Finally, um, going more toward Bobby Portis, and trusting him because he's more valuable in this series than Brook Lopez. And if Brook Lopez wants to win a championship, then he should understand it. For Phoenix, Devin Booker had 42 points, but it was a hard fought 42 points. He cried throughout the entire game. PJ Tucker got into his head. Um, and I mean, it was just a whiny bitch fest with this guy, man. And, this follows a 10-point performance where he only shot 3 or 14 from the floor. And despite his 42 points, it wasn't enough. Phoenix lost. And I want to also just reiterate something else I was saying. I'm starting to question Phoenix toughness as a team. Um, when they are front running, by that I mean when they are up by a lot of points, they can rah rah, the bench will be cheering and high fiving and talking shit. But when they get down, sometimes their body language shifts. You start seeing a lot of whining and flopping and crying to the officials. Yeah, I see a lot of that. The Bucks, on the other hand, you don't see that as much. The Bucks tend to be more stoic. The Bucks tend to be more patient. And one thing that Milwaukee did that was important is that they stayed in the game yesterday. They stayed in the game, didn't let Phoenix pull away too badly. Staying within at least at most within 8 or 9 points instead of getting blown out by 17 or 16 points. You know what I'm saying? Last but not least, what else I want to mention? Chris Paul had one of his most ineffective games of the postseason. Chris Paul, who is known for his historically great assist to turnover ratio, rarely turns the ball over unnecessarily. Had a lot of key turnovers last night, and he had some bad ones, in key situations that you remember down the stretch of the game. Now, Chris Paul most likely will bounce back and have a great game five that remains to be seen. So now we have a series. It's tied 2-2. Um, this is now a best 2 out of 3 scenario. Now, I'll always emphasize the psychological aspect of the game. The pressure is on Phoenix. I think what's key is Phoenix is going to come out with a lot of energy in game five. You know it. Even though they don't play until Saturday, you know they're going to come out with a lot of energy. The key for Milwaukee will be to withstand that run, to try to come out with a knockout blow of their own. And Mike Budenholzer, don't be fucking stupid. Don't. Oh, I think it's going to work this time. Yeah, you know, do what work. Do what generally works. Okay. And I also would like to see Forbes get involved. Man, I don't know what's going on with Forbes. What's his name? Brandon Forbes, I think it is. He had a remarkable series against the Miami Heat, shooting the basketball. But we haven't seen that since then. And another thing, too, before I end this video, not since the Miami Heat series have the Bucks really had a game where they just been in fuego. By that I mean everybody's just on all cylinders, shooting a high percentage. You always have that one of those games every now and then where the team is just shooting the lights out. You know, that game in 1991, the NBA Finals, where Chicago shot 61% from the floor, the switch of hands layup game jump Jordan had, the look away, the Livingston, spectacular move. That game, the Bulls was just on fire. You know, the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq would have one of those games where when everybody's hitting, Kobe drops 30, Shaq drops 30, Derek Fisher might drop 18 hitting threes. Robert Ory hit a couple threes. Rick Fox hitting threes. Those types of games where it's like, fuck it. We can't win this one. On to the next one. If the Bucks can get one of those performances, because it's been so long, if the Bucks can have one of these games where Chris Middleton uh, gets like 25 with a lot of, with good efficiency, if Drew Holiday can shake out of his shooting slump and have like a game with 18 points and 11 assists and an efficient manner, if Giannis can drop 35, if Forbes can come off the bench and hit like 3 or 4 threes, if Pat Connaughton can hit a couple threes, I'm trying to say one of those performances. Brooke Lopez shoots like 7 or 6 of like 9 or something. If they can have one of those goddamn games, the Bucks will win and be in a great position to win their first NBA championship in 47 years. But we will see. Tell me what you guys think. And please support this channel if you want to subscribe to my platforms. Please subscribe. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can use the Cash App or the PayPal. Thank you very much.